Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephen Herwire. I'm the owner of Herwire Financial. Today is March 7th of 2025. Today, after the market wrap, we're going to be talking about should you be concerned about the state of Social Security. I'm Steve Herwire, owner of Herwire Financial, Plans with Direction. Social Security was established in 1935, provides financial benefits for the elderly, disabled, and disadvantaged groups. However, there are concerns regarding its sustainability. Social Security is particularly concerning among younger generations who are not yet receiving benefits, but still have to keep paying those SSI taxes despite their future benefits being reduced or at worst discontinued. So, should you be concerned about the state of Social Security? The answer, while multifaceted, tends to lean toward the affirmative. Three major reasons for concern: demographic changes, longer lifespans, and the economic climate. Let's start with the demographic changes. The number of baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964 are reaching retirement age, and their numbers are significant. As they draw Social Security benefits, fewer workers contribute to the program, straining the system's financial resources. Note that next year, in 2026, the last of the baby boomers will finally be eligible to start collecting Social Security. In 1940, for every Social Security recipient, there were about 160 workers. By 2010, it had dropped to 2.9 workers per Social Security recipient. Longer lifespans. Due to advancements in healthcare and technology, people are living longer than ever. While longer lifespans are a positive development, they also mean that individuals draw upon their Social Security benefits for extended periods. This increased longevity, combined with the influx of retiring baby boomers, puts increasing pressure on an already burdened Social Security system. Now, keep in mind that life expectancies in 1935 for men was about 60 years and women was about 64 years. In 2020, men have an extra about 14 and a half years. They live to up to, on average, 74.5 years, women to 80.2. This is the reason that pensions from private companies have all but vanished. When my mother-in-law was alive, God rest her soul, I would often quip that she had drawn a pension check longer than I had drawn a paycheck. At the time, it was true. Continuing to pay pensions for people that are not that are living up to 3 and in some cases 4 decades is simply not sustainable. Economic climate. The current economic climate further complicates the issue. Economic uncertainties and lower interest rates have resulted in lower returns on investments that form a substantial part of the Social Security Trust Fund. The Congressional Budget Office predicts that the fund's reserves could be depleted by 2034 without action. Reforms are being proposed to help work towards its continuation. These include increasing the retirement age, changing the formula used for benefit calculations, raising the payroll tax cap, or combining these measures. However, the political division surrounding the issue complicates reform efforts. Social Security has long been an issue in American politics, but little progress has occurred despite the looming crisis. The political gridlock should also concern the American people. Let's talk a little bit about the history of Social Security. In 1937, the most you could be taxed is 2% on your earnings up to $3,000. And that 2% was split half between the employee and half employer. And it remained this way until 1950, where a 3% tax was assessed instead of 2. Again, it's half the employee, half the employer. In 1951, they raised the max taxable earnings to $3,600, and there have been various changes on the max taxable earnings and the amounts. In 2025, max Social Security taxable earnings increased to $176,100. Means if you make more than that in earnings, you don't have to pay additional Social Security tax. You still got to pay Medicare. Medicare is The sky's the limit on how much you get the Medicare tax. But the tax rate for the Social Security part of that is 12.4%, half of it employee, half of it employer. And in 2011 and 12, there was a temporary 2% reduction. Up until 1983, you didn't pay any taxes on your Social Security. 1983, you could be taxed on up to half of your Social Security benefits. And then in 1993, you could be taxed on up to 85% of it. So preparedness is critical. While Social Security is not on the verge of immediate failure, its long-term prospects without substantial reform or worrying. The pressing question for citizens and policymakers alike is not whether we should be concerned about Social Security, but rather what can be done to help its survival and effectiveness in providing financial support. The issue of Social Security being available for future generations requires attention. Future generations face later benefit start ages and a reduced benefit amount compared to those already receiving benefits. Therefore, working with a financial professional to devise a plan for retirement income without Social Security is vital. And why you should bring in a financial advisor. Simply put, they'll think of things you won't. A good one will have up-to-date knowledge on ongoing law changes. They will also have access to tools that the average consumer does not have. Since in many cases this is their vocation, their focus is on this area, causing them to think beyond a surface level. Also, many have years of experience, meaning there's a good chance they've seen your situation or one similar to it before. And because Social Security claiming decisions can mean the difference between of tens of thousands of dollars for a family, having a good financial plan will help optimize this choice. Okay, once you graduate, be it from welding school, engineering school, or law school, you're going to need a different plan for each of these stages. In your working years, young people, hear me on this. The sooner you start saving for retirement, the more likely it is you're going to get to retire in a time and manner of your choosing. Even if it's only a little, time is on your side. Then you got to make sure it's in the right place. Don't let that second question hold you up from saving. It can be fixed if it's in the wrong place pretty easily, usually. Glide path to retirement, which I define as the last 10 years prior to retirement. Will the USS retirement be shipshape on the appointed day? By the way, if you get a financial plan when we're coming up on that glide path, we help you with the claiming decisions for Social Security. Retirement. How do I avoid running out of money before I run out of life? And finally, legacy. Does what I worked hard for get to where I wanted it to after I'm done with retirement? I do Zoom, in-person, and phone appointments. I'm licensed and registered across several states and can easily add states if there's a need. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can click on the Schedule an Appointment button in the upper right-hand corner of my website, herwirefinancial.com. Want to see more videos like this? Click on that YouTube button. It's the red one, just a few buttons over from the Schedule an Appointment button. Please like and follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Those who prefer the good old-fashioned telephone, my phone number is 518-631-2569. Do not text that number. You will be sad because neither of us will get it. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only, not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance reference is historical. No guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested in directly. All data is believed to be from reliable sources. However, no representation is made as to its completeness or accuracy. None of this is to be construed as tax, legal, ERISA, or investment advice. Consult your advisor prior to taking any action. Unmanaged index returns do not reflect fees, expenses, or sales charges. Index performance is not indicative of the performance of any investment. Investing in stock includes numerous specific risks, including fluctuation of the dividend, loss of principal, and potential illiquidity in a falling market. Investing in mutual funds involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Fund value will fluctuate with market conditions, and it may not achieve its investment objective. Dow Jones Industrial Average is comprised of 30 stocks that are major factors in their industry and widely held by individuals and institutional investors. The Standard & Poor's 500 index is a cap-weighted index of 500 stocks designed to measure performance of the broad domestic economy through changes in the aggregate market value of 500 stocks representing all major industries. The NASDAQ Composite Index measures all NASDAQ domestic and non-US based common stocks listed on the NASDAQ stock market. The market value, the last sale price multiplied by total shares outstanding, is calculated throughout the trading day and is related to the total value of the index. Okay, everybody, I know the market's really turbulent out there. Upcoming, I will have a Facebook Live that will address this specifically, what to do in the event of market turmoil. If you have any questions, feel free to call me or book an appointment. Have a nice day.